Hey guys, welcome back to the Thought Bubble podcast. It should be now 2021 if we didn't die in the rapture. As I heard, the Mayans got it wrong. I'm Melanie. Who do we have to our left?
Hey, I'm Leanne. I'm wearing this really cool shirt. Love this shirt. It's a meme. And I straightened my hair. And one thing I forgot about straightening your hair by yourself is that you burn your hands so much. And it hurts so bad doing my hair. And I was like, wow, no wonder I don't do this shit. Anyway, who's to our right?
Hey, my name's Emily. It's finally no longer 2020. Oh. We're finally in 2021. It's probably not going to be any better, but let's hope it doesn't get worse.
Yes.
I mean, I think it'll get better.
I think so too.
I'm good with odd number years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also, they're starting to develop a vaccine, right? Like they started testing. They started doing like a emergency one.
They approved too.
Yeah,
they did.
They approved the emergency one.
We're filming in December. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. So that's good. So maybe 2021 won't be that bad.
Japan 2021.
I really think
I'll be
2022 for me.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm
We leaving Emily.
You can leave me, but I don't know about that.
We'll bring you Kit Kats.
I'll be happy with that.
Different flavors because they got unique flavors.
I'll be so happy with that, truly.
All right, so what's the topic for today? What's the thought?
So today we're doing a basic finance sort of topic because Emily has a lot of questions and she kept texting. And I already wanted to do this topic anyways because I graduated undergrad finance. So I figured I know as much as a 4-year finance student in a public university. So
more than me, shit.
We got a couple questions lined up. I did some research. So do you want me to read it or?
Yeah. Let's get this started.
Just start it off.
I mean, okay. So how to get into basic like investing, which I've had questions from her. I've had questions from my brother, Blue Room. And so I got started in Robinhood, like most millennial Gen Z kids do, because it's like an app. It's really easy. I know Cash App has investing. I don't know, like even because I have Wells Fargo, they even have investing in the app. Like your whatever bank you have, yeah.
Oh, I wonder if Bank of America has that.
They might have it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So the difference is like those online apps, you don't like really pay a fee to invest, and with banks, you pay a fee.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it like a $1 or something?
Well, I don't know. It could be like a percentage of how much you gain.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Oh, that's how it is. How do you think they're gonna make money?
That makes sense, I guess. So then it's beneficial to do the apps then, if you want to invest.
Yeah, so with Robinhood, it's really easy. All you got to do is sign up. Then you got to link your bank account.
It's not an ad.
It's not sponsored.
But if you want to sponsor us, shit.
Oh, okay. And then you pick a stock or whatever company, but you gotta know what to get into.
Yes.
Because not everything is good, not everything's bad. So I'm going to get into that more later.
Yeah. So, like, I just downloaded the app. Yeah. So, not to just interrupt you, but, like, I just downloaded it. And when I saw the app, I was like, what is going on? I don't know what anything looks like.
The abbreviations really threw me off. I'm like, what are these W?
So those are their ticker names.
Yeah.
I mean, each company has an abbreviation or, like, of what their name is. And you could pick them whichever stock you want to buy.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Had
Did
to ask
not
her.
Know that. I looked at it. I'm like, what?
What the hell is this?
What is this? DW? What? Though this J&J is Johnson & Johnson. Like, come on. What the heck is that? And I was really confused. I had to look up a bunch of videos. So I have like a very beginner basic understanding of stocks.
And I have nothing.
So do you know what a stock is?
Not really. I know it's like I know you buy it. It's like a piece of the company and you buy it. And I don't think you own anything about the company. But like you don't get a say all of a sudden.
Do you know what a stock is, Emily?
Yeah, I know what a stock is. It's like I mean, I don't know like the dictionary term, but like I know it's like it's a piece of a company that you're buying into. Yeah. That's like the basic thing. Like if you believe in the company, the management, everything, and you think that they're going to be doing well in like the next 10 or something years, you invest in them, and that brings up like their value as a company, their stock price, everything up because more people are like saying they're agreeing that yes, I think you're going to do well. And so
Yeah, so a stock is basically like a percentage of the company that you own.
Okay.
It depends on how many shares are out there. So a company could choose to put out like 100 shares, 100,000 shares, or cap it based on like the amount, like the price. So it could be like $1 billion cap.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that's why investors care so much about the company, because it's like they own like 1% of the company.
Okay.
So if that shit goes down, their stock price goes down.
Okay.
And that would affect how much they could sell it for in the future.
So is the money you put in, so like all the stocks they have, they get that money. Are they using that money to like do stuff with their company?
Yeah, they're using that as capital to like invest in stuff, pay off debts.
Okay.
Maybe take out loans. They go to the bank and they're like, okay, we have this much like in our bank account.
Okay.
Like, how much loan can you give us?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I also wanted to talk about a bond, because older generations know what bonds are.
I don't know what a bond is.
I don't either.
I just know that you should buy them. That's it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
worth more money when it's later in life.
Yeah, so like older generations, like baby boomers, like after World War II, or well, during World War II, the government was giving out bonds because they needed money to fund the war. So let's say you give the US government like $20. This is like World War II time, it's probably a lot of money. And then like in 30 years, you get back like $200. So you're basically, so a bond, you're basically giving one person like $50. And then you set a contract, and for whatever years, let's say like 10, 20 years, after those years are up, they give you back the money plus whatever interest. So that's how it is with government bonds. So like that's why a lot of older people did it. So let's say their kid was born, they want to give their kid money for college. So their baby's born, they get out a government bond for like $50, and then when their kid's 18, they could cash out for like $300, $400.
Oh, okay. That doesn't seem like that much though.
I mean, you can make more on bonds.
It's because government bonds, they're very low risk, very secure. So because government bonds, essentially, your government can never fail. Because why would you put trust in your government then?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's also like corporate bonds. So that's like you go to GE, General Electric. You're like, here's $100. In 5 years, give me $200.
Okay.
So it's like that. So bonds are less risky than stocks because it's more secure.
Okay, it's like a contract. It's like
Yeah.
you're guaranteed the money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what if it's like what happened earlier this year when didn't the economy like crash or whatever? Does that affect it?
Well, I don't want to say almost, because it was very weird. People were out of work. No one was working because of the pandemic. But after, I would say like May, June, stocks were going up. The market was going back up again. So what happened was the Federal Reserve, they set the rates like across the board, like rates on credit cards, car loans, mortgages, whatever. So they have it almost at zero, which is it's crazy. I remember
What's zero?
the interest rate.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
So let's say, so what they want to do, they want to make the economy go back up again. So to do that, people need to spend money.
Yes.
What happens? They don't have money. They take out a loan. So to encourage people to take out these loans, they want the interest rate as low as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they set the interest rates like really, really low, that's why a lot of mortgages are booming right now. A lot of people are like buying shit, taking out credit cards because the interest rates are lower.
Can they change that interest rate later?
The Fed changes it.
So they can. So it's not like a guaranteed contract. So like if you bought this or got this loan at zero interest rate, they can change it. It's not like a guaranteed. Like
Who's they? Who are you referring to as they?
So like let's say if you're in a car dealership, you got a car zero interest.
Yeah.
For the next 5 years, can they change that?
Yeah, after those 5 years, they can change
But
it.
during those 5 years, they can't.
No, not if it's in contract.
Okay. So if as long as it's contracted, they can't change
Yeah.
it. Even the government.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so the Fed changes it. I think they have like a meeting like every month or something. They have a huge announcement like every quarter.
Okay.
So
How long are quarters?
So a quarter is 3 months.
Okay.
Because there's 12 months.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'm not good at math. I didn't know because I'm like, what are these quarters? What is this?
Am dead.
I don't know anything. Assume that I know nothing.
Okay, where was I going? So it's good if you want to take out a loan, but it's bad if you have money sitting in like an interest-bearing account because you're getting like maybe 1% when before you could have got like 3-4%.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like ups and downs, but basically they have it low because they don't want you to have your money sitting in a bank account. They want you to spend your money to get the economy going, get money flowing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So for the economy to like get you to encourage you to make money, they start making interest rates low. Do they do anything with like
They encourage you to spend money. So that way businesses can make money because businesses pump money into the economy.
But how else could they encourage you to spend money if it's just like buying a mortgage or a credit card? Like,
there's nothing else. That's some big things. Other than gaining property, like that's still loans. Like no one can buy.
I would say that's more political. Like if you raise minimum wage, like if there's a federal minimum wage, something like that. If corporations decide to pay people fairly, that way if you have more disposable income, you can spend more money. Or like rent.
Yeah.
Like if they don't charge that astronomically, then you would have more money in your pocket. You can spend more.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder why they didn't do that.
Yo,
People agree.
They should have did it.
People are homeless right now. Straight up.
Dead ass. And
Just people are getting evicted. Like people are just really saying fuck the landlords.
The pandemic highlighted everything wrong.
They really did.
Yeah. And they don't have any plans to fix them either. It's just gonna stay the fuck
Well,
same.
hopefully this term for the president, they'll do something.
We're filming this December 19th. Congress should have passed something. They wanted to do a second round of stimulus.
Yeah, it's like $600.
Yeah.
$600.
Which if I could get that money because I paid my taxes. I was mad that first round we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if your parents have you as dependents.
They do.
Yeah.
That's why we couldn't.
Yeah. So I think that's the last year though, because now you're out of college and you're working.
Yeah, I was gonna apply for it.
Shit, you know how mad I was?
Yeah.
Because I pay my taxes every time I fucking get paid.
Yeah, they take off so much money.
They take off like
$100.
30%.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Would they ever
and
change
we didn't
that?
get anything.
Yeah, they raise the taxes all the time.
No, but would they ever? Why didn't they change that?
So there's
during
a
the
thing
pandemic?
when you sign up for like an employer, you could have them, like automatically take taxes out, or not take anything out, and at the end of the year, you have to owe back taxes to the government.
But how do you do that? What does that mean?
Well, whenever you file your taxes.
Oh, you just have to have that money offhand?
Yeah.
Isn't that a lot of money?
Shit, if you're making a lot of money.
Yeah, so some business, when I worked with my mom doing memberships, it's like a wholesale business, you have to have a membership. Yeah. Some businesses would come in with non-tax, and so they would have their non-tax form, and they're like, oh, I want to take the taxes out. I don't want to be taxed for any of the products I buy here, because they like they have clients, so like they would have that money. Yeah. Because they're getting money from the clients, and by the end of the time, whereas taxes time, they have their money there. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I know about that. God. Like that's why some people don't like taxes, or they do, or whatever.
That's how.
How high is our tax rate right now?
I really don't know. I think it depends state by state.
Oh, I didn't know that was a state by state thing. Jesus.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've ever looked at your paycheck. Mm-hmm. It has like the federal stuff that they take out that goes to like Social Security, the Army, whatever. And then the New Jersey stuff, they take out state taxes. They take out stuff for like New Jersey Social Security, like other shit like that. Yeah. So it depends how much your state takes out.
Yeah, it does. They take out so much. Take out so friggin' much.
So
for stocks, how do you get to the point where you can, because like I saw on Robinhood, they could give you a card so that you can spend money, like with the money you get, I guess that's in your account, on your card, you could use it. How do you get to the point where you're making so much money that you can actually spend while also continuously using your stocks?
With Robinhood, I'm not sure if you're referring to like a card where you only spend the money you have in the Robinhood account, but I know last year they were trying to drop like a bank account kind of thing where you have like a checking to Robinhood.
I think that they are doing that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I think they have it there, but
so I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
I don't know which one. I just saw it and I was just thinking like, how do you get to the point where you're making so much money off the stocks? Because when I think about stocks, it just sounds like you're buying and rebuying and selling, and that's pretty much it. There's like, I don't know how do you get to the point where you're actually really gaining from these stocks?
So that's more like you really have to know what you're doing in terms of investing. Like, you have to look at a company, look at their financials, look at, like the statements, because if you're trading, you have to every quarter give your quarterly updates to the SEC. Every year you have to give an annual report. So you got to look at that, and you got to look at patterns. You got to look at trends. Like, does this company, like, are they continuing to grow? How fast are they growing? And you also have to look at what do you want out of the stock? Do you want just short-term gains or do you want something long-term? Like what fits better for you in your lifestyle?
What's the difference? Like,
so short-term, it's sort of just like, I guess like day trading, how you were kind of talking about before. Where you just like invest in a stock maybe 1 week and the next week when it's up like $1, you sell it. To me, I don't like short-term because it's sort of just like gambling or whatever. So you asked me about like short-term and long-term growth for stocks. So short-term growth, I would probably define short-term as like less than a year. So I think that's basically like you listen about a stock that you think is like up and coming, you heard about it in the news, like everyone's talking about it. An example I would give is like Canopy Growth.
Oh yeah.
Me and my brother heard about that stock. It's a cannabis stock out of Canada. And so when they were deciding to legalize it in Canada, I think last year, it was like a whole thing. Everyone was buying up these weed stocks because they're like, all right, it's about to go up. Everything's going to be good because they're going to have all this output. They're going to have this whole new market.
Yeah.
And their price, it tanked because everyone was overproducing weed. So there was too much supply and not enough demand. So that means not everyone's going to be smoking 24/7.
Yeah. I mean, maybe in America. It depends.
I mean, but that was the difference. Yeah, it was in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, I read American cannabis companies can't go on the stock exchanges here because weed is still, like, a federal, like, crime.
Yeah.
It's only in some states that's allowed.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think if it was legalized in all states, it would go up?
But didn't it get legal? Didn't it pass?
Only New Jersey.
Only New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, they can't go on a stock exchange because that's, like, a government kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So that would be, like, an example of short term. So you would invest in that before, like, Canada went legal. And then maybe in, like, a couple of days when their price keeps going up and up, you would, like, sell out.
So you would sell out to get the money.
Yeah, to get the profit.
From the high.
Yeah. So let's say you bought it for $20 and it went up to, like, $25, $29. You would gain, like, $9.
Okay, so that's short term.
Yeah. So long term is more like if you're in it and you can see, like, you have, like, a long-term plan. Like, maybe you want to retire with this money. You want to use this money in, like, a couple of years to buy a house, go somewhere. So I would say probably use a more consistent company, like one that's been around for a while, that you know that they're still producing new shit. So I want to say, like, Apple. I know everyone, like, loves Apple, but they're, like, top in their game in, like, the phone market. I mean, they're probably gonna keep going up no matter what scandal, whatever, if there's a pandemic or not, they're gonna keep going.
Okay.
I would say, like, Disney too, because they're always producing new content.
Yes.
And they're not just in, like, entertainment.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
They're
like they're merch, real estate. They have all those parks. Yeah. So that would be, like, a long term kind of thing, but you got to decide what's best for you. Yeah.
So it's like long term, you wouldn't be selling it quickly. You would sell it after, like, a few years, and once you think it gets to, like, a good enough number.
After, like, a couple of months or a few years. Or maybe you want to keep that stock around because some companies, they give out dividends.
What's that?
So dividends, dividends are like, let's say you've held the stock for, like, a whole quarter. The company will give you, like, 5 cents.
Oh, okay.
Just, like, regardless if the stock price goes up or down, that's, like, their thing.
Oh, to give
they give back to investors. It's whatever profit or they have left over.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what something I'm looking, like, I find really, like, that's what I want. I want to get high dividends, and I looked up, like, real estate ETFs or just real estate stocks have high dividends. They have, like, a really high margin of, like, giving back because that's just the type of thing they are.
It's a booming market.
It's a booming market, and there's really different types because there's, like, corporate real estate, there's like home real estate, there's other stuff like that. So I was like, I really want to learn about that because I want high dividends. I want the money. I want to have money coming in so that I can reinvest.
I mean, I don't know if that's something you should, like, be looking for, because dividends, it's like a perk.
Yeah.
To me, it's like a perk. It's not like a necessity that a stock should have. It's more like you want to know the stock is going to be doing good long term.
Yeah.
Yeah. That they're going to keep going up. The price is going to keep going up.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of why I was looking up like ETFs and stuff because like I'm not
What
really
is
good
an
at
ETF?
I believe it's like electronically like transferred funds or something.
On Robinhood they have like these things. I looked it up. It's basically like if you don't know what type of business you want to put stock into, but you know the genre. So like let's say you don't know what tech company you want to put into, but you know tech is going to do good.
In the industry.
So you invest in the tech industry. So it's like ETF is like a bunch of companies, a bunch of industries in that one field all together, and you invest money into that big chunk.
Yeah.
But you have to like research because you don't know. You have to see what companies are in there.
Yeah.
And then you gotta kind of like know how they're doing. Kind of like it's kind of like a risk, but it's
Everything's
also,
a risk.
Everything's a risk, of course.
Yeah.
Everything's a risk, of course. But like if you don't really like have a favorite company, but you believe in the industry, then you just do that.
Oh.
And I was like, I like that because like I don't really know much about a lot about industries, but I feel like certain things are gonna do good no matter what, and I would like to invest in them.
That sounds like more research though, because if there's like 10 companies in one thing, you'd have to look at all their progress, all their like ups and downs and stuff, right?
So that's what I was telling Emily like a couple of days ago, how you just start reading up like on the news. Like I told her Robinhood offers like daily newsletter in your email. So like at 6 a.m, they're sending you stuff on like the latest stock companies, who's coming out, who's up and down. So that would be good because then you know what the company is currently doing and if they have any competition in the market, like what's happening.
Yeah.
Even like politically, economically, socially, you got to know what's happening because all of that affects how the stock price goes up, goes down.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I can't think of a company right now. Oh, okay. So let's say, so you're saying that socially and politically that can affect how the stock does or how the company does.
Yeah.
So let's say when Wendy's started doing that funny thing on Twitter where they'd like started roasting people. I don't know if you saw. Well, Wendy's would start roasting people or like start roasting other fast food companies on Twitter. And that made people love Wendy's more because it was funny. It was like, oh, our ice cream machine never broke. Do you think that caused Wendy's to get like more profit because people thought it was funny?
Who's loving Wendy's more? Twitter?
Like
people on Twitter?
People on Twitter.
Okay, so are people on Twitter investors?
I don't know.
Probably not.
So like I don't know, because what I'm thinking is that if someone's go, oh my god, this is so funny, let's go get some Wendy's. Is that type of chain reaction, like of people going to go buy food at Wendy's, is that gonna make their value go up and their stock, get them more profit?
So what you're saying is people see this funny meme on Wendy's. They're like, LOL, let's go get Wendy's.
Yes.
Hell, people are doing that. So instead of going to like McDonald's, Burger King, they go to Wendy's.
Yes.
I see that more like long term.
Okay. Yeah,
like
long term.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all these people are going to Wendy's, like let's say like in March.
Okay.
That's gonna put their March profit up, and then when they report every quarter, investors are gonna be like, oh wow, like they really went up in March. But if those profits go up and then they don't meet that in April, that's going to bring them down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I asked that because, like, I know that's a social thing that would affect the company.
Honestly, yeah, if I were to think about it that way, I wouldn't think that the people that are laughing at these memes would gain up from it, but it would be investors looking at it. So maybe an investor, like, was thinking about going to fast food. They saw that it's getting a lot of traction right now. They're like, in the short term, I can make money investing in Wendy's because it's popular right now. It's like a meme.
Yeah.
Anything that's like a trending, you can make money off. So it'd mostly be, instead of the people finding it funny, it'd be investors being like, this is getting news because it's getting traction. I'm going to invest more.
Because it's putting the spotlight on them. Because let's say, like, during the coronavirus, the freaking Corona beer started getting less sales.
Yeah.
Do you think that also affected that?
It did. Their parent company, I believe, is Constellation Brands or something. They own like White Claw or whatever. Okay. So I was reading on Robinhood how sales for Corona beer was going down, but more people were buying their other products.
Oh, so it
was balancing out.
Okay. So
they were maybe down a couple percent points.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, like, is that like an example of like a social political?
It's like Zoom. Zoom is up 300%. Their stock price.
Crazy.
From this time last year, because no one was using Zoom last year.
I didn't even know
no one
needed
to.
Thing.
Everybody's using Zoom this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about it until the coronavirus happened.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the type of thing, like, you can't even predict, like, you kind of just like, if you heard about a pandemic, you would think about something like that. Investors would think about something like that. Like, how can I make money? And it starts to turn into like, I need to get used to it. It's like, that's why the news is so important.
Yeah.
Because you start thinking like, all right, this news happened. How can I gain from this?
How is that going to affect the industry?
Like, I remember I saw a video of a guy, he was explaining stocks, and I thought it was really interesting. He said that he was talking to his friend, and his friend was talking about fracking. He's like, what's fracking? I don't even know what that is. And the friend was explaining, like, that has something to do, you know, with oil, getting more oil, and he was put it on the news, and he started listening, like, looking at these things, how, like, the government's gonna do more of it. And he's like, this is gonna make all the oil companies go down. And he had stocks in oil, so he took it all out before it went down because when the fracking went up. So it's like stuff like that, like,
You have to think ahead
you need to think, like, when you hear something in the news, you have to think in that, like, because that's what my cousin was telling me too. She's like, every time I hear something in the news, I think, what is this company? How is this going to make me lose money? How is this going to gain?
That's because investors are always future oriented. Okay. So they hear something like so-and-so company is like selling off this asset. They're like, oh shit, that's going to affect their XYZ and their financials. It's going to bring down whatever. Let me sell now. Okay. So that's how stock prices, you know, they go down.
Yeah. Okay. And that's what I was saying in a lot of videos is like, it's good to be that way, but not to just trade on emotional. Yeah. Like when you're emotional, like you're scared, like it's getting bad press or something. Yeah. The prices go down, everything goes down. And like you sell your stock because it's like, oh, I'm losing money. And that's the bad thing about day trading. Because like you lose, if you see a lot of big loss, you trade that day. Yeah. But if you stick with that company because you know the management's good, everything's good, it can go back up and you make more.
So you shouldn't be doing stocks if you're not someone to like watch the news and pay attention. This is something like, it's not just buying a stock and just hoping that it goes money. You have to genuinely be like listening to podcasts, listening to the news, really
you gotta do your research.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like you actually lose money if you keep buying and trading every day or like every other day. Like the long term, what I've seen in videos is that the long term is better for you financially.
Yeah. Okay. It always is. That's like the idea for a 401k. Okay. So 401ks is like a retirement savings plan that your employer offers you. So every time you get paid, they take like 3-4% out of your paycheck that goes to your 401k. All of those are ETFs. So it's all these like, I like to think of it like little baskets or whatever. They put all these companies in them. And then either they could pick for you what you invest in, what they put your money towards, or you could pick whatever. Okay. So I decided to pick whatever. So I do ETFs that are more long-term and that bring in like more profit as opposed to someone like my mom who's closer to retirement. Yeah. And they got to be careful with how their money is spent in their 401k. So someone who's younger, it's better to start a 401k because you can get into higher risk things. Yeah. Like not crazy risk. To me, that's like really iffy. But you get into more riskier things like more stocks than like bonds or like treasury reserves. Yeah.
So what like I even though you've explained it to me before, I don't understand the 401k. Why does it sound as if you're constantly managing your 401k? Why do you have to constantly be on top of it? What exactly are you doing?
What am I? Or
I
like
guess anyone that could do a 401k, I guess. Because like, I don't have a 401k yet.
Yeah. So like I tell you guys, I manage my 401k personally because I kind of know what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. Like I kind of know about stocks. Okay. But you want to be on top of it because that's the money essentially you're going to use to help in your retirement. Okay. When you turn like 65 and a half, you could take out that money without any tax or penalties or anything. So you really want that money to do well. You want whoever's managing your 401k to know what they're doing and know that they're putting it in somewhere that you won't lose money like overnight. Okay. So that's what happened, I think, like in 2008. A lot of people lost money in their 401k because like the housing market crashed. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So for me, I'm on top of my 401k just based on the news.
Okay. So you manage your 401k, but if you didn't want to, you can have your job manage it for you?
So it's not the job. So your 401k is through like a third party. Okay. Like mine is through Fidelity. Okay. But they are like investment managers. Okay. So it's going to be like a wealth manager managing your 401k. Okay. Because technically they're supposed to know what they're doing. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I manage it, like I said, because I know what I'm doing. So it's based on like the news and patterns I've seen.
Okay.
So, like in October, I know it's notoriously bad for stocks for some reason. That's like when a lot of markets usually crash in October.
Spooky month.
Spooky month. I don't know.
It's a ghost. It's cursed.
They have like their own Black Friday. So everything going down.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that's what I was like, oh shit, I gotta move my money from ETFs to like cash reserves and like federal reserves, which is basically just putting your money in like government kind of.
All of it?
Not all of it.
Oh, okay.
Just like a chunk.
I didn't know that you could move things around. So So your money, so your 401k is just a big sum of money, and you're putting it in different things. What are all the things you could put it in? Like, what are the list of things you could put it in?
It depends on your plan.
Okay.
Like my plan, you can put it in like ETFs. So the ETFs is like domestic stock, foreign stock, different assets that I guess Fidelity has.
Okay.
And then it just says other.
Okay. Okay. So you could pick what each one, and you can consistently change it however you feel.
Yeah. You can put in like bonds, different governments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's no like, you know how like when you transfer money from your bank account, it's like a waiting fee. There's no waiting fee. You can just transfer what you want your money to be in.
So, like which like stock, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It just takes like a day.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like processing.
And then you put it in there, and then whichever one you pay, you put it in, you want it to go up because that's doing well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's more secure. So like I was saying before, in October, I know how it goes down.
Okay.
So I was moving most of the assets I have into like government secured, like treasury bonds, like cash reserves. And I'm like, okay, the government's going to be more secure. It's going to be more stable.
Okay.
And so I don't lose money.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to not lose money.
You want to not lose money.
Okay.
So whatever money you have in there, it's not like, let's say you put $50, you're going to keep that $50 in whatever interest. It's like you could lose that $50 or it could go up.
You could lose what's in your 401k?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Because it's in the market.
But
it's
that's
in the market.
crazy.
It's to invest.
That's why you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's why you have to like constantly update it. You can't just leave it to the wind.
But I thought your 401k was for like, it's like money you put aside for your retirement. Why is that money being?
Well, that's one of the purposes.
It's crazy.
It's
like, I don't know. I guess that's what I'm not really understanding, or what is kind of hard to understand, because this is something you don't really learn.
You don't learn unless you go to school for it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could lose money in your 401k.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I only knew that it was compounded and you can gain money the longer, but I didn't know it was a gamble. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I guess you could call it a gamble.
It could be if you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing, you don't want to pay someone.
Or someone is managing and those stocks all go down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You can't control that, yeah.
I thought 401k was way more secure than that.
Eh,
So
it depends what you're in.
So how do you know someone who's managing it is like, you just have to go to like a really good company that just knows what they're doing? Like, how do you even choose that?
So your 401k is offered by your employer.
Okay.
So you don't really choose what company they choose.
Oh, okay.
But you could, instead of opening a 401k, you could open an IRA, which is like also another like tax safe place you could put money in. But you can't take that money out until like you're retired.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is like a wealth management. Like they manage that.
Should I start that? I feel like I want to start doing like something like a 401k because I don't have one and I'm 22.
Yeah.
I know you can have an IRA, like a Roth IRA.
I'm glad you brought up the Roth IRAs because I was trying to remember for so long. I couldn't remember the name. But I was looking up Roth IRAs because I saw a YouTube video where I was looking up, stocks and stuff. And like, they were in the YouTube video, they were saying that like, things like Robinhood and Acorn and stuff aren't that good because it's like a tax kind of stock, and like Roth IRAs are better to do kind of like investing stuff because it's a non-taxed stuff. So like, what do you know about Roth IRAs? Because I don't really know what Roth IRAs is other than like it's a retirement thing, but I didn't really know what it is.
I'm trying to remember. I like knew this like 2 years ago maybe because I had an internship where all I was really doing was putting in applications for IRAs and Roth IRAs.
Okay.
But it's basically like I would say a tax-free savings account.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how it's funded. I think you write a check out initially.
Okay.
And then they fund it, and then I guess you could do like automatic payments from whatever account. So basically like a wealth management person, an investment management person, they would take your Roth IRA and use whatever money is there and I guess invest it. But you decide how risky you want it. That's what I remember from the internship because people would fill out like their riskiness, like how much they wanted to put in whatever.
Okay.
So that's what I remember. But it's like it's tax free unless you take out money before you turn like 65 or something.
Okay.
So it's like another alternative to saving money and gaining money on whatever money is sitting there. Because you don't do much. You're hoping that you gain like a good rate of return. But I mean, it's another option.
Okay. Because I was looking into it and I was like, should I get one? How do I get one? What the fuck do I do?
I mean, if you want to get one, because I know you've been saying you really want to put your money to work.
I do. I want that compounded, like, extra thick money. I want low effort income. I want to do nothing and have money.
I mean, it's a big move.
Cause I'm 22 and I feel like I should have started when I was 16. When I started working since I was 16, and I haven't done anything with it, and it's just laying around.
I think that's like the social pressures of like being young right now, especially during the virus. Just wanting to like invest your money like properly and to start that now. And there's like this big pressure that like if you're not doing that, you're failing. If you're not like getting a house right now, you're failing. If you're not getting a job right now, you're failing. And it's like that social pressure to just you need to be successful now, especially with like that stupid shit like Kylie Jenner, fucking youngest billionaire, stupid ass shit.
Youngest billionaire, quote unquote.
No, it's like all those things pile up in society on social medias is that it just creates this pressure. What's the right thing to do and what's over like you're right, relax. You're only 22, you have time. Like what do you think someone of our age should be doing and what's like you have time, you're okay? Like do you think starting a 401k now is necessary?
I don't want to say necessary. It's encouraged.
What time frame by what like
By
age?
30.
By 30?
30.
You
have a
starting one?
401k because that way you have like 35 years to get your money up, get that money up for retirement or whatever you want to use it for. But now, because we're 21, 22, I would say definitely have a checking account. Have your savings account. Don't leave it somewhere where it's not gaining interest. Like I have an online savings account and it's just 1%. I think like 0.5 now.
0.5 there.
Because the fucking pandemic, all the rates are going down. But I started at 1.5.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I mean, for now, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard stories from older coworkers where it used to be like 8%.
What? 8%?
I guess before 2000.
I would love to see that.
But, like, those are old stories.
So what's the difference between an online bank account and savings account and a bank savings account?
Like a big bank?
Yeah, like Bank of America. I have Bank of America. Let's say the difference.
So there's a bunch of differences with physical banks, like big banks like Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, and like online banks like Ally.
Okay.
So big banks, they're always going to try to charge you something.
Okay.
There's always going to be some kind of fee. There's always going to be some kind of minimum requirement that you got to keep in your account. There's like certain limited transactions. But big banks, it's going to be less of a return, like less of an interest rate because they have other like fees and stuff that they have to, take care of.
Okay.
Like they have a physical building that, they got to pay like rent on, the electricity, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. They got probably extra people, than an online bank. So online banks, they have less costs, which means they can pass that on to you, which is the consumer.
Okay.
So like with Ally, and other online things, like I've seen stuff from like Goldman Sachs. Their rates are better because it's only physically online. All you gotta do is go on the website, sign up for it, put whatever money you want in there. A lot of them don't have minimum requirements. Just because you're opening the account online, it's like less of a hassle to manage. So you get a better rate. So that's why I always tell people try to do online savings accounts because you're getting a better rate.
Okay, that makes sense. So is man, what was I gonna ask you? I was gonna say something about the difference between online versus I know for let's say like I have a Gap credit card from the store Gap and they told me you can save money if you go paperless. Okay. So is it kind of like the same thing where is that why most companies are trying to go paperless, trying to do less physical things because it costs less money?
Yeah. They're trying to lessen the cost however they can, so they could either pass it on to you or just like keep profits.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
Big time.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think what I was also looking at, because I recently got into stocks. I think maybe last week.
Yeah.
I've just been looking up videos because like for me personally, I just want to increase money. I want to make money so I can reinvest, put it back. So it's like kind of like, how do I start researching? Because like I don't really know what to do. Like, how do I even start something so big?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was kind of looking at like the RTFs or something. ETFs. I was just kind of like thinking maybe I should do the real estate ETFs because I know their dividends are very high. You get high return for those.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, how am I supposed to make sure like what sources are most
Like what's
reliable?
Good, what's bad.
Yeah, what's good, what's bad? Like, what's considered a bad, what's considered good?
Ooh.
Like, I know you don't know everything,
Yeah.
but like a basic understanding of how you can figure it out yourself.
Oh, okay.
If you have like examples, because usually like I guess in examples like, oh, let's say let's say like a $10 or something.
Yeah.
Like use examples like that, because that I feel like helps me better understand it.
So you want to know how to like research into a company, know if it's a good investment or not.
Yeah, because I remember looking up videos of like, like the top investors.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah.
look at like the financial stuff, but it's like,
Yes.
how do if I can't understand that, what can I do?
You fucked up. No.
Fucked. Nothing.
It's honestly, I know it might seem overwhelming looking at financials, especially if you're not a numbers person, you're not a maths person. But if that's how it's done. Like when I was like in advanced investment in my 4th year, we were doing ratios all the time. We were doing formulas all the time. So we could determine, okay, is this company overvalued, undervalued? What are the ratios? What are we looking at? So it's not that hard. You just got to know the ratios of what to look at. And I could give that to you. I don't have it right now.
Yeah.
But you're looking at like profit from year 1, year 2, year 3. You're looking at how much market share do they have in their industry. Market share is like let's say Apple, Samsung, BlackBerry, like Apple's gonna have a majority of the share and it's gonna be Samsung. What else? How much their stock price has grown over the years. See if it's consistent, if it keeps going up or down, figure out like why. Like maybe something was happening in the economy at that time
That's a good idea.
that affected the
Wait, what
industry.
do you mean? Like how much it costs to buy the stock?
Yeah, that's
So
their
that
stock price.
Why did it increase?
So that number changes.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, all the
Of
time.
course, yeah,
I
it goes
thought
higher.
it was like a set thing.
Yeah, no, like Bitcoin, like, dude, my cousin was talking about it the other day. She said, like, in, like, 2012, like, something, like, Bitcoin was, like, $6,000 for one share. Right now, it's $27,000.
27?
Bitcoin is too chaotic for me.
I don't understand.
So, like, I don't know how Bitcoin or cryptocurrency works, but, like, my cousin was just like, if I bought a stock in Bitcoin, like, 5 years ago, it's, like, worth, like, triple now. Because it's so expensive now.
Bitcoin has high risk because it changes even more than stocks.
Yeah.
It fluctuates even more than
But
stocks.
why?
Because it's decentralized and it's just people buying and selling all the time.
Yeah.
But why are people buying and selling? Like, why are they doing that? Just for the money?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
How
'Cause-
does cryptocurrency work? Like, what do you gain? What is that?
Not even I nor John Oliver are that sure on cryptocurrency. I want to say it's a riskier form of stocks. No one controls it. It's just online based.
But can't anyone make a cryptocurrency?
Anyone can make a cryptocurrency.
Anyone can make a cryptocurrency as long as you get a following of people to invest in it. That's how it picks up traction.
So people give value to things.
Mm-hmm.
That's how essentially money works.
Yeah.
Money is a piece of paper, but you say it has value, so therefore it has value. So that's how it kind of works.
That makes it sound like Bitcoin's a fucking scam.
Well, money's a scam.
It
too.
could have been, yeah. And that's why people were like clowning Bitcoin when it first came out. Because I remember when it first came out, it was like a whole thing.
Bitcoin made a lot of people millionaires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really quickly.
That's crazy because like when we did an internship at our internship for school, he told us that like sometimes he would do jobs. So our boss he did like graphic design work, animation work, and he said sometimes like because some people don't really value animators. He said he got paid in Bitcoin. He said like they told him he was gonna get paid, and then they gave him Bitcoin instead.
He should have got a contract.
But that's how freelancing and animation and all that stuff works. People will just even pay you in something like that.
Bitcoin goes up, once it goes down.
Exactly. So he said like he would have preferred regular money because of course that's like more stable. Like you don't know what to do with Bitcoin, just fucking get it. Yeah.
That's crazy. I forgot he told me.
Yes, I was like, you got paid in fucking Bitcoin. What does that even mean? What you get? How much was that Bitcoin worth?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know. I didn't even know you could pay someone in Bitcoin.
I mean, I guess could you pay someone in stocks? Is that possible?
I know some companies, like right when they startups, they'll pay their employees like cash, and then they'll give you a share in the company.
Oh.
Some people do that. It's like a perk.
Yes.
I don't know.
Only if the company does good.
What does that give you? Like, what does it say? What is that to say? Like, I don't know. If someone said, hey, you know, we're hiring you. We're going to give you this, but we're going to pay you this much, but we're also going to give you this much of the share. What does that mean to me?
It's in hopes that, like, okay, you're working in the company. You know what's going on. You're trying your best to get that company to go up.
Yes.
You know, try to make it big.
Yeah.
So with that share, whatever shares you're holding, that's going to only increase if the company does better every year.
Okay.
So that way you could cash out whenever you want or you hold on to it.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if you work for that company, you're in the inside of the company. So it's kind of like almost like insider trading because you know if it's doing well or good or not. Isn't it? Because
It's
like,
but it's very shady.
yeah, so it's very shady. So why is insider trading like how does insider trading work? Because I know you can do it by accident, can't you? Can't you accidentally find something out and then do it?
I guess, yeah.
Because we're word of mouth. Like, my friend told me this, so I did this.
There's like a lot of news reports sometimes when people who are CEOs of companies, they're like, oh, so-and-so just traded off X amount of millions of, you know, this company. Like, and then the stock price starts going down because people think something's up if the CEO's selling that much shares.
Yeah.
I remember Jeff Bezos was selling like $15 million worth of Amazon. But like, Amazon's never going to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, never going to go down.
We never know.
Yeah, we never know. But, I mean, sometimes they just do that. Maybe they just want cash.
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't want stocks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about predicting, and that's what's like so like crazy about. I think for me, what's hard about stocks is that I need to get into a habit of watching the news.
Yeah.
But like, I have such a hard time looking for the news because I don't want to do like
Yes.
the normal news outlet. Like, I don't want to do Fox,
Yeah.
maybe CNN, but even then, maybe I don't even know. I don't even want to.
Mainstream news are just.
I feel like even like in the last 4 years, news has been very weird to me, like very biased. I feel like it's becoming a very weird place.
Political.
Very biased and very political. And
Yeah, like I don't mind if it's political. I mind if you're biased. Like if you're making it sound like something sad before I even decided if it was actually sad. I don't like that.
I want a neutral source, and that's why I kind of like I watch Philip DeFranco. I watch Philip DeFranco, and then like John Oliver sometimes.
I love John Oliver.
And I feel like those two news sources, like they show their bias, but they also show why there could also be wrong, why other people feel that way. Like I want a neutral source so that I can make my own decision.
So Philip DeFranco is a YouTuber, correct?
Yeah, YouTube.
So he's a YouTuber. He uploads, and John Oliver is a
He does
TV
the
show.
podcast.
Yeah. John Oliver is on HBO last week tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
And we don't even get the full show because it's on HBO, right? Don't we only get like a clip?
Yeah, YouTube they'll upload to YouTube the main segments, but what you're missing is maybe like the first 5 to 10 minutes where it's like little news clips and then like jokes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I don't know. That's why like it's so crazy how like mainstream news is getting to the point where it is unreliable. But that's what most like older people
podcast.
like that's crazy. Like most older people watch like Fox or CNN, but they report things so like let's say during the Black Lives Matter movement.
Mm-hmm.
I learned most of what happened during that through Twitter. And that's crazy because people post fucking Sonic memes on fucking Twitter.
Sure.
People post like stupid things on Twitter. But I learned most of my news that were genuinely correct with article sources from Twitter.
With video evidence.
But when I looked on social media, like my dad watches Fox News, I was watching it and I was like, but where's the other half? I saw this video, you only showed this one part. And that was so surreal, so crazy.
There's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah, that's so
I
crazy.
would love to know how the stocks got fucked up during that time.
What time?
During
During Black Lives Matter movement. Like,
Did it?
I don't know.
I really don't think so.
I don't think it didn't affect anything.
But wasn't that like a socially big thing that...
Like, what about
But-
Target? Like, Target got hit a lot.
Target, yeah, they got targeted, they got looted in different cities.
But, like, did their stock go down?
I don't think so because Target was on Twitter saying it's fine. Like, it's just
We're
things.
Gucci.
It's not people dying.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. It's just mostly like kind of like trying to stay with like what are media's like what is businesses saying? What are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that so much affects it. I think it's more like if people go online and they pressure just one specific company, that could affect it. If they get a lot of bad news, if there's a big scandal, people would just start selling off shares because they're not aligning with what's going on.
Okay.
But for Black Lives Matter, that was like May, June, July.
Yeah.
I think the stocks were starting to go back up from when the pandemic hit everything and everything kind of
Closed down.
really went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really don't think it affected him that much. Alrighty. I think we've talked a lot about stocks and investing in the market. I'm going to move a little towards like banking because a lot of people have bank accounts, but they really don't know what they're doing or what really happens in a bank account.
Yep.
So I'm going to go into like what does the bank do with the money you deposit? Like you have like $300 in your account. What happens with that? Because technically it stays there, but what the bank does, they take all the money from everybody's account. Everyone has an account there, and they give out loans to people who are applying, like mortgages, car loans, whatever. And that way, they charge loans with interest.
Okay.
So that way they gain money. They gain some kind of profit.
Even when they're giving out money.
Even when they're giving out money. Because, of course, they got to charge interest because how else are they going to pay the employees, pay themselves, create new products and stuff.
Okay.
So that's what really happens. I don't think a lot of people know that, or a lot of people don't think about what happens with the money that you have in your account.
Yeah.
Or maybe the bank will be like, hey, this is all our assets. This is all we have, like, in cash flow. Like, could we get, like, a loan? Like, there's, like, banks.
There's banks? Banks
Yeah.
for the banks?
Yes, banks for the banks. But where do you think they get the cash?
They're not getting it from the government?
Well, yeah, that's like, the banks.
The banks, the government?
The Federal Reserve, yeah.
And they have to be like, yeah, you can only get this much?
Well, some banks, depending on your size, they limit how much cash you can keep in the cash reserves.
Okay.
Yeah. So big banks, they got a lot of money, but I don't know. Where was I going with this?
We were talking about banks and like what they do with the money in our account. Like, so are the money you deposit, is it really there anymore? Do they take it and use it for they use it for something else?
They don't technically take it. They kind of use it as like a safeguard. So if people aren't paying back their loans, they default on their loans. They still have money because they have your money. But to safeguard from that, banks will also sell off these loans to different markets. So like the government will buy like mortgage loans. That way the bank doesn't really take the risk. The government takes the risk if anything happens to the loan.
Okay. But why is it safer if the government has it?
I don't know if it's safe. It's safer for the banks, right? Because they don't take the risk. If you don't pay your mortgage for like a year, it's not them that's losing the money. It's the government losing the money.
Oh, so they just take the responsibility and give it to the government.
Yes. Damn, they sell it off.
They cop it. Oh my god, such a cop out. They're just like,
they sell it off. They don't want the risk.
They don't
Well,
want
the
to do
government
it.
shouldn't give the option if it,
I really don't know how that got started. My guess is they wanted people to feel secure about getting loans from banks.
That makes sense.
Because I guess after the Great Depression, a lot of people were really iffy with banks.
That makes sense.
That makes sense because people started losing money. They wanted to take out money, but the
They
banks
didn't
were
trust
like,
the banks.
they were like, I don't have any money to give you. Your money isn't here. Is that why? Like, so that's why like the banks use your money because like all those people were like, I want to take out my money, and we're like, well, we don't got no
cash
money.
here, bro.
We don't got no money. Like, how does that, like, why? So is that's because the bank is constantly recycling the money into the banks?
Everything's revolving. Like, you can't go to the bank and ask for, like, $1 million. You know, you can't go to your local branch. I don't know how rappers do it. I've always thought about that. Like, when you see the rappers online, they got, like, cash and stacks, like, $1 million. I'm like, I know they've had to go to at least 10 different branches. Or called someone from, like, you know, at least top tier and be like, hey, I want to take out this much. Like, let me know what day it's good.
Yeah.
Because you got to call in advance for that.
It's probably fake money, like the movie they give to, like, movies.
Could be fake money.
Could be fake money, like a props.
And it could be. I don't know.
Yeah, because that's crazy. I would feel so scared having that much money just in my fucking house.
No.
You don't
I
need that
mean,
much money to give to strippers.
They house secure, but
Bro, but still, like, let's say you had a fucking maid. All she had to do is slip,
that's
like,
true, that's true.
like one band into their pocket, you won't notice.
Oh yeah.
Especially if it's hundreds.
Just
That's
one
small, yeah.
band.
Just one band, that's $1,000, right? How much is in a band?
It depends how thick this band is.
I don't know. Isn't there like a regular band, like a usual? Like
The
is it in 20s?
highest band I've seen is like 10,000s.
Oh God! In one band?
Yeah, so you just get a $100 bills.
That's crazy.
No, my bad. $100 bills. Math didn't work. But yeah,
That's crazy to have just money like that. So like,
I got
go ahead.
I got an app called Truebill, and it
Okay.
I got the app because it tells you how many recurring payments you have, and I couldn't remember how many recurring things I pay for.
Bruh.
'Cause I have Patreon, I have Spotify,
Yeah.
I have Microsoft, and one other thing. So I got the app for it, but it also like shows me like how much I pay for bills and stuff. And what I saw on there was that I was getting interest fees like taken out, and apparently I'm getting interest fees, like negative interest fees for like my bank, for money in my bank. So when I looked at it, it said like negative $24. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why am I getting interest fees for just having money in the bank?
I never heard of that.
I don't know. I just saw that. I was like, what is this?
Interest fees.
Yeah, it was like interest fee. I don't even know what it was for. But I'm like, what is this interest fee for?
Have you noticed in your bank account that they're taking out $24?
I don't think I have noticed, but on
You
Truebill,
should check.
I should check
Yeah.
that. That's
So,
why
like,
I checked.
this is why like banking is so important because most people they just don't look at their fucking
I wouldn't trust a
banking.
third party. I would look at your bank statement.
And look.
Yeah.
Cause like I tried looking, I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, what you're looking for.
Cause like, can you get interest fees for just having your money in there? Cause I know for in your
you wouldn't
credit
get fees for interest. You get money because there's interest in your account. Why would they hit you with fees?
Is it like a
Anything-
late fee or something?
The fees could be that you don't have the minimum requirement for that bank account.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm like, I have money in there. What's happening?
Yeah.
I need to check that out more. But I had that. And I was like, I wonder if that's something or if I should just
I've
be...
never heard of that.
Damn it, I gotta check now. I gotta
Oh,
check more
God.
harder.
Why
No,
didn't you check right away?
I did check. I'm checking, but like it's like I don't really know what it is.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what to do because you don't know what to expect because you don't know what to trust
I don't
because
really
no one talks about this
Like,
stupid
I
shit.
checked my bank and I was like, I don't
Yeah.
see $24 taken out. So like, what is
wow.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I might check again, and if I do see it, I'll ask. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
this?
That's
yeah.
weird.
That was weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like weird shit that happens with like the fucking bank. Like,
Oh
you
my
just
god,
have to
remember
call-
our cousin? So for our cousin, she has a daughter, and she went to like a grateful, kind of like similar to like a lodging resort place.
Yeah.
Very nice. But right before we were about to check out, she went to go check out, obviously.
Mhm.
But the hotel charged her like $500 in cleaning fees.
Ooh.
And she only would have known because she checked her bank and she saw that they took out money.
Yeah.
So it's like they weren't gonna say anything to her.
No, of course not.
And it was like a whole fight to like get
Of
that
course,
that
yeah.
money back. And it was just like something like those are the things that get slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, if
When
you're
you're
not paying
doing
attention,
that.
because
yeah,
especially
you
if
have
you're,
to read.
if you're working, you're not really paying attention. You're expecting, all right, well, this happened. This is what should be the result. Why should I check? That's how most people think. But then, like, once that happens, so like they charged her that fee because when they entered the room, the people who cleaned the room, they said it smelled like smoke. This was a 13-year-old's birthday party with 6 13-year-olds.
Oh God.
And they were like, yeah, it smelled like
Smelled like
smoke in
smoke
here.
before that.
So, like, of course, it was like a party. So we had balloons
Yeah.
and then, like, some streamers. We popped at all the balloons and we put
Put it in
everything in
garbage
garbage bags.
yeah.
We cleaned as much as humanly possible before checkout. And we put everything, we just didn't put the garbage, like, in the big giant bin. They had
Yeah.
to collect that. Then we put everything in small piles so that no matter what, it was easy for, like, the people to clean it. And we put all that effort, and they still charged $500 because it smelled like smoke, and they had to use an ionizer to like clear the air. So it was bullshit because I went with my aunt. I was like, nah, I'm going with you. This is some fucking bullshit. We go up there and like, oh, don't worry about it. We understand. Like, cause she was like, bitch, she was 13-year-olds. I would kill someone was smoking in there. How dare you even suggest that?
Yeah.
So there she was like, okay, we're just gonna show you what we meant. Can you please come up with us to the room to look? We go up to the room. I'm like, I don't smell smoke in here, bitch. And she was like, oh yeah, we already used the ionizer, so the smoke is gone. And so
Like,
we're
so
like,
what are you showing us?
exactly. We're like, why did we fucking come up here? It's like we just wanted you to see our point. I'm like,
But
they
where's the
charged.
point, though?
So they charged us because they charged my aunt my cousin because they had to delay giving the other customer the room because they already booked the room, but they had to delay it. So that's why they were charging us.
That's bullshit.
But like we were like we did a campfire the night before. We all did. We were by a big gigantic bonfire.
They offer it.
They offered it. They have that thing there. We paid for it.
There was like 6, 7.
And we stayed there for like an hour. And when you stay in a campfire for that long, you smell like campfire smoke, like the wood.
That roast.
So what they were smelling was definitely the campfire wood. And it's like, how are you gonna charge us? When you provide that service, you should expect that campfire wood on like the couch or everything if we come in there.
It's probably been there though.
Exactly.
That smoke gets, if you've ever been in front of the campfire, that shit goes all over you. That shit is a campfire.
It's there for a couple days. You have to put that shit in the wash.
And like, there was only like 6, 7 of us staying in the room, but we had family come over just to, because you could just chill in the room and leave. There was like 10 of us just chilling in the campfire, having fun, s'mores, talking, taking pictures.
Cute.
And then we all stayed in the room. So of course the room's gonna smell like smoke. We were so pissed. Because when we were there arguing with them, we weren't thinking about the
She was
campfire.
arguing for 30 minutes though.
Of course,
with like so many managers.
Because that's bullshit.
It is bullshit. And it's just like, how
Especially
and
if they
imagine,
didn't tell you.
Exactly. So like imagine we left there. And then we would have to deal with like my aunt, my cousin would have
to call.
She would have to call them and it would be a whole thing.
The bank would not have given it to them.
Yeah.
Because they were like, you already left, there's no proof.
Yeah.
And that's what's so scary about like, what you buy, what you owe.
You have to be like on top of your bank
That's
account.
why people say use credit cards when you pay for stuff that's like traveling, because your credit card has some sort of insurance already added to it. What else? And your credit card company fights for that money because it's technically their money.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, I didn't think
That
about
is a good idea. But I remember in my job when customers, like, when we wouldn't give them a refund because, like, nothing in the store is refundable because it's the decorating store, some customers would, like, fight, like, would dispute it. And they would, like, basically steal from us because we didn't get their refund.
Yeah.
And we would have to ban them. And it's just, like, crazy. Like, you can dispute those actions, get that money back. But it's crazy, like, how does that even work?
Yeah.
Maybe how does that work?
Like, how does the bank just go, like, yeah, I didn't want to pay for this? How do they know that you're not lying? How are they just like, yeah, we'll give you your money back?
Oh, maybe they ask for evidence.
Well, they do. But, like,
Like,
that's crazy that they do that.
that's what I'm saying. It depends. If she used a credit card, they probably fought like tooth and nail to get that fucking money back. They're like, all right, bitch, you try to return this. They don't want to give it to you. Bet we just gonna take it.
That's that's probably what happened.
That's
They're
what
like,
happened, yeah.
they're like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck what this company says. And that's why you get banned because like.
Yeah, that's how you get banned. That's what sucks about it too. Cause like, you're right, but then they can fucking punish you because you want your money back.
I mean, it's not your money. Yeah.
I mean,
it's the company's money.
I mean, I guess that's true. I don't know. That's why like banking is kind of crazy because like even like I got a new credit card because I think I got new cards because I lost my purse or something. I want to get all new cards, and they gave me a new credit card, and it's like how crazy how like credit cards keep getting like not better, but like it keeps changing. So they're like, why don't you get this new credit card? It gives you this much interest if you buy this. Yeah, they are. They're just like, oh, you get 3% back. And I thought they were going to replace my old credit card because I was like, okay, I'll just get this new one. This sounds nice. But they gave me a second one. I was like,
now you have 2
no, I have 2 credit. I mean, I don't put anything on it. But I did, like, it's just crazy how, like, these credit cards are like, oh, now you'll get 3% back of what you spend.
Cashback.
Yeah, cashback because you're spending on this specific thing. Like, you can put it as groceries or gas or online shopping, which I thought was cool, which is why I wanted to get it.
Yeah.
But it's just like how like the banking is consistently changing just so they can get
that's
you.
naive of you.
Well,
I thought they were gonna replace the credit
I thought they were gonna replace it. I thought there was just gonna be a new one.
They need those accounts.
Yeah. I don't put
Why would
anything
they
on it.
do
I
that?
literally only use it to like get fast food and then I pay right away.
But like also that's how it's hard to get. That's how easy it is to get into like debt, like credit card debt and stuff like that. You're just getting so much. You're putting so much on the credit card.
So,
exactly.
So like, what would be some advice for like young people, 16-year-olds, opening a bank account, getting a credit card?
Because we got ours at 16.
You got your first credit card at 16?
Yeah, we got our first debit and credit card.
Oh my god.
We got both of those.
Bro. I don't know how.
My dad did it. My dad made it. He's like, I'm gonna do it with you. I'm gonna sign my name. I want you.
But it's on his credit though.
No, it's ours.
Our credit now, probably now that we're adults. But before it was probably
check that out.
We should check that out. But I have my own credit. I have a credit score.
Well, yeah. If you have your own credit card, sure. But is that whose name is that on?
My dad probably co-signed.
He probably co-signed it. Yeah.
because he wanted us to build credit, and my credit's good.
I feel like that's too early when you're 16.
16, you think it's too early?
It's 18. 18,
really?
legally.
I don't know. I feel like I always hear like if you should get a credit card as early as you can. And
Who are you hearing that from?
No,
I'm trying to get those accounts.
I feel like it's like more like a social thing. Like people are just like, get it, build your credit now.
I honestly think it is too early. 18 is better.
I agree.
I mean, even 18, you don't even know what a credit card really is still.
But don't you need to build your credit up as soon as possible?
You got to build your credit, but there's a lot of things that build credit. Like your student loans help build credit.
But why wouldn't you start like early with like little things like
I wouldn't start 16 because 16, you're literally a child.
That is true.
I don't know how you're signing for that credit card. Like that's legal shit.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
I don't even think we used our credit card that
no, yeah,
until we were 18.
No, of course, we barely used it, but it was like...
Yeah, but still, imagine you didn't have, like, your dad.
Yes, correct.
Helping you pay that off.
Yeah,
that's true.
They were just like, all right, your whatever part-time job, you got to use that to pay that.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of responsibility for someone young.
I mean, my dad definitely helped. He would be like, you pay your credit card? What does it do?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we paid it. We did good. Like, he was really on top of it.
Yeah, if you don't have a guardian that's on top of you, it's definitely not a good move. But because my dad always reminded me, because I would forget. Of course I would. I was 16. So he would just be like, hey, don't forget to pay. And I would pay him. Because of that, I built my credit from a very early age.
Oh boy. I think someone who's young, they're probably going to have like a teen checking account.
Okay.
I would say look for banks that once you're 18, you could get like your parents off of the account. Because a lot of banks, they will keep your parents on the account until maybe you're like 21.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know. It like varies bank to bank. It's whatever account type that you open.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely have a checking. I know some people open like kids savings accounts for their kids when they're really young.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
That way they get some sort of interest. But yeah, if you're 16, don't try to get a credit card. Don't do that. That to me that's too iffy.
Really?
I feel like you're not responsible at all.
I feel like if you know that you're gonna use it smart, I feel like it's not.
I agree because
what's smart 16.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
I agree
That's
I agree with Melanie.
That
like,
is true.
If it wasn't for the fact, like even us, we weren't that responsible. Yeah. We were, fucking around.
But I wouldn't use it to fuck around. I just would I would just get close to forgetting my payments. I'm like, oh, it's tomorrow. Oh my god, I gotta pay it.
It'd be very easy to max out the card.
Imagine the kids today. They get these apps, like in-app purchases.
Oh my god, that's true. Instagram sells to you so goddamn much.
Or just in-app purchases. Like you can put your credit. If you had a credit card, you can put it on the app store. Whatever you want from the app store, you use it. You
just one touch. Yeah.
Just one is even easier. Not even it's effortless. Not even thinking.
Yeah.
So I definitely think I agree with Melanie. 16 is too young.
That's true.
We were too young, but we didn't really use it for that much.
Yeah.
We were made known and we were taught like how to be responsible with it and to
18 is definitely a good age to like build your stuff. If you want a credit card, when you get a credit card, use it for small useless shit. Like,
use it for
not useless,
the
like
gas station,
like gas or fast food.
Fast food.
Groceries might be a little expensive if you're like buying for your family, but like use it for small stuff and then pay it off more than always pay more than the minimum.
At least the minimum, though. At least.
I always pay more apparently because like
if you don't have a job and you're in college,
that's true.
What are you paying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Yeah. Try to get your try to make it like a game. Like always try to get your shit at zero.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
I love doing
get
that.
that drive because like that's how I like never put too much or stop myself from putting too much and buying frivolously because I want to see it at zero, like almost like a game, like those money maker games.
True.
Like I want to see it at zero. I want to hoard my money. I want to hoard it and save it.
I think we talked about a lot of stuff, so I think that if we want to do another episode, definitely let us know. I really hope that this was something that was informative for you guys, because like I feel like me and Sir are really lucky that we know Melanie because I learned so many.
Amazing.
I feel like I learned so much more than I would have ever because I knew like Melanie because she works with banks and like those are all things that are really important. That's why I really like that we did this episode because these are conversations. Even if we didn't go, I don't know if we talked about everything. We definitely did not.
We didn't go too in deep.
Yeah.
We definitely go more in deep, but you would have to know more concepts.
Yeah. And that's definitely hard. But like just going through the basics and this information alone is so valuable. It's so important to get this perspective, especially at a young age.
Yeah.
So
it opens it up because then you're like, oh, I heard this. Let me look more into it.
Yes.
Or like I heard this in a podcast. Could we talk about it more? Because I feel like it's really hard to open up this conversation when you haven't heard it. Be like, oh, I heard it in this podcast.
Yes.
Like, is this a thing? Like, is this
true?
Yeah. Like, is this a thing? Talk to your parents. Maybe you don't talk to your parents that much. Talk to your friends. Whatever. Like it's good to talk about money, early on, or just get a concept.
Yes.
Because like if you get a concept of like what should I be doing with money? I have money. What do I do with it?
Yeah.
How do I engage with it?
I also feel like it's hard to get that conversation started with parents, especially if you don't have any specific questions, because parents don't really know what to go off from.
Some parents don't even know.
Some parents don't even care. Don't even want you involved.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard to, especially like I never really knew what type of questions to ask, but because I know more about it now, I know what to ask.
Yeah.
So I hope this opened up like your mind to it. And if you have more questions about it, we'd love to do a part 2. We'll do some research. So
maybe in a couple months after we get more into stocks and stuff, we can make a part 2, see how we're going.
Yeah.
See if I've made much more money or anything.
Yeah. Rate of return.
See if I'm doing anything or anything. I think finance is always like a daily, yearly thing. Yeah. You can always talk about it.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. All right, I think that wraps up this episode.
Yep.
And hope you guys liked it. Leave a comment. If you have questions, I'll try to answer them, but I don't know much. Just, got a 1 degree.
The American degree.
Yeah, I mean, it goes kind of far. Yeah. But leave a like, a comment, share with your friends. Let us know how we're doing so far. We're trying.
We are.
But I guess we'll see you next time. And Happy New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
We're going after you.
Let's welcome 21 to be
21.
Fruitful and, getting there.
Let's hope for good fucking vibes. Please, God.
Vibes.
Please.
Let's get some money.
Money.
Let's get some money this year.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.